세러데이 쇼다운 젠지 스포츠 대 KT 롤스터.
In the end, the Shurima battle is currently won by Nongshim as the Rel Alistair handshake is going to come through here. There's a lot here to work with. Let's jump onto the Rift for game one. Yeah.
But he kind of has become really the only carry jungle we have in this meta, because he's the only champion that can like build Triforce and actually straight up team fight and carry fights because he has so much mobility.
I think it's him and Kha'Zix, right? No surprises really when it comes to first clears, just a full clear. As Peter is going to get rid of Beryl as best he can. Great Blade Caller to try and even out this trade, but so far looking pretty good for DRX towards this bottom side.
I love the Renekton's trying to mess with the blue buff timer here, or timing rather. The Renekton is not the one that's falling massively far behind. He wants to deny the proxy here.
Yeah, Rascal actually taking a bit of damage as he does walk behind this turret, but it looks like Dundun is going to elect taking some of the CS, which I think is probably a good idea, because that is a gigantic wave that has just crashed. Make that a couple of waves.
Fight for this, and you really want to, because the Drake went over. You have a Renekton. Barrel's going to miss this one, but gets the stun.
That's a flash and the headbutt. Going to push Beryl underneath the turret. He takes a turret shot as Jiwoo looks for first blood, and he'll get it. Beryl making another whoopsie, and Peter capitalizing gorgeously.
Yeah, that was actually really quick.
Just a little bit late on the rotation, unless they can cause some shenanigans. There is some vision available as Dundun's going to be moving down. Beryl gets in there, and they do manage to secure it. Nice little knockback as they might be able to grab themselves another kill onto Beryl. There it is, cease and desist, and that is a dead Rel. But maybe DRX are just okay with it because they managed to get the Rift Herald.
They just wanted to get in and get out.
Oh dear. He's in the Renekton position, but the all-out just does not... we're going to go with a mistake, as Rascal is going to miss a cannon there as well. Now, Jonah Strong also not having a great time. Blade Caller is working out here, but Croco moving in. And Rift Herald should be able to get a charge, but she is getting a bit distracted. Finally, she sets herself up, and that will be some plates going over, showing signs of weakness. They haven't been able to win out on a lot of these moments, as I say that, and Croco is going to look for Dundun. Snare does come down as now Dominus comes through, and there is Sylvie making his way up. The Emperor is not far behind him either, and Dundun, he always has friends available as Rascal looks for the Q, doesn't quite get it. And thankfully, the all-out going to be there to allow Rascal to escape. They're going to not have quite as much information. Blue Trinket does go down as Beryl gets a bit of a stun onto Peter. It should be the Rift Herald being secured, and there it is. Beryl once again going to collect the eye. Is now Peter looking for that headbutt pulverize angle. Puddock on the backside is now the Azir looking for that topside flank. Dundun already taking 50% of his health bar though, as Rascal very happy to take a Vault Breaker, and DRX will just wander their way out.
All right. Once again, successful heist.
Oh dear, there's the crash down as the Flash Tibbers comes in. Dundun was lying in wait in the brush, though the AoE is just massive as Fate is being torn apart. But Croco is now looking for some of these resets, and Peter is flashing out of the fight. Fiesta is going to ult the air as actually Rascal does get picked up, and the Kai'Sa eventually falls down as this fight is just insanity as Croco, he's going to be shifting the sands all over the place, eventually ends up dashing away. And Jiwoo, can you catch up? Can you manage to get this sneaky Diego?
I don't think so. I think
the answer is no.
That wasn't it, Beryl.
야, 미니언 제발, 미니언 제발.
Please, one more.
살짝 실수했어. 이를 좀 잘못 써가지고.
He almost said a rude word, and he said that he made a slight mistake. He made a bit of a mistake, but
could have some pressure. The same with Fiesta here, as long as he's shadowed. He is not at the moment.
Okay, it's Bird versus Horse as they get the Emperor's Divide, and it looks like the line of Sand Soldiers should be enough to deter DRX for the moment.
Yeah, I do worry, actually, about this Cassante. He's got a full turret ready.
Let's see how all out he'll be able to go. Cease and desist does come through, but that is a very dead Cassante. Man, he died before I could even really have very much of a sentence there.
Yeah, he's only got a Thornmail and an Aegis, so...
Yeah, and hopes and dreams.
That's a lot of damage.
He is ready to go, but this Drake continues to be leashed down to about 4K.
Dindin flanking.
Yeah, Dindin's flank angle is fantastic. He's going to be spotted. It's stolen away here by DRX as Peter gets himself in there. Cease and desist comes down yet again as Croco is going to be the target, and he will be taken out. Meanwhile, in the backline, they get the Feather Storm out from Jiwoo. The crash down is good from Beryl, though, and he's going to survive for so long. Rascal ends up grabbing the kill, tries to get out. I have a feeling he's not going to make it, and that is a triple for Sylvie as the dust settles and all they give up.
Committing to Merc Treads 3 of these champions. Okay, Dindin, this is not exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, that's it's a bit of a crash down, a little bit of a Magnet Storm, and the Dominus is doing a fair bit of work here. He's gore drinking quite effectively, finds another Q. He's slicing, he's dicing, he's dying, but it's a lot of time that he has used up here. Out of turret, he's going to be the trade for the Crocodile.
Team to get bigger advantages elsewhere.
Oh, okay, Rascal going to get that back denied, and ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling that Kasante may fall in this play. He does decide to go all out, but it's just not going to be enough. Sylvie's going to be able to get him with a punch to the back of the head. 5-1-2 now for this Vi.
You can see that just they don't have enough control over the map to actually look for that as Fiesta's level 16. They do not see him.
Yeah, well, he's going to get engaged on here as soon as he comes onto the screen, and pop goes the Azir. They do manage to grab themselves Soul Point, but giving up their mid laner means the DRX are desperately looking for this fight. Jiwoo does have Feather Storm as Rascal moving himself over. Feather Storm actually going to be used preemptively here, which is suboptimal, you could say, for Nongshim.
They're
still trying to look for that opportunity. There's the flash forward, doesn't find the Q though, and there's the re-engage. Sylvie goes golden, and now Nongshim want to get their jungler out of there, but he's stunned up by the Annie, and the Vi will fall. Two swift kills here as now DRX, they're not wanting to let them out for free. 3 of them still remain as Killer Instinct is on cooldown. They get the flash out from Dindin. Tagged by the Void Seeker, and this Baron is going down pretty low. Dindin looking for that flank angle. This is going to be an honest 5v5 as Rascal already down to 50%. Croco desperately just trying to stay in this pit, keep this Baron leashed, as Sylvie is going to have his ultimate interrupted. Croco now fighting Dindin. The Baron, they're just trying to burst it down, and they will be able to take it here as Nongshim grab their second. Fiesta gets the stopwatch out of Croco as well as the team fight is on, but they take down the Rel. The all-out comes forward, but Fiesta goes golden, and now Fate, he really wants to get damage in, but he's just thrown around the team fight, and Nongshim, they're just fighting so well, Wolf.
They really are. Every single team fight, they know the threats and how to play around them. And even though the Renekton dies, he does so much before he does that they're ultimately able to take it. The stopwatch and the flash from Fiesta, fantastic as well. And yeah,
he just hasn't been enabled in this game. But let's see whether DRX can find it. Rascal down to 50%. Beryl is just going to get turned on and exploded. He kind of knew that there wasn't very much hope at that point in time, but that wasn't really going to give them too much of it if that's what indeed they were looking for. As Fate now flashing forward, finds and tippers onto Fiesta. He goes golden. Dindin has already ulted as well, as Rascal desperately trying to keep them away from their Nexus, but it's now Jiwoo that's just going to destroy Croco. Emperor's Divide just in celebration, and Nongshim will decorate the floor with DRX and then destroy their Nexus. A gorgeous game number 1 from this team.
This was such a clean game that went over the wall, right? There were some decisions that were made there that were not clean, and they weren't able to utilize this Annie to great effect in 5v5 team fights, unfortunately, but just the outmaneuvering of Nongshim and how they were constantly able to split things up. And
but there's still Alistair.
Yeah.
They're going to go with the Nautilus instead, perhaps. But I think that Peter had a great game last time around. I was also a bit sad that we didn't see too many Peter votes, because I thought that he set up Jiwoo very effectively. Nautilus, this means that you've got like double unavoidable CC. So we'll just have to see how it goes. I think once again, Nongshim do have a pretty cohesive composition, assuming Dindin doesn't fall too far behind. Let's jump onto the rift.
See what he ends up building here this time around. Obviously will be the Doran's ring to start.
Yep.
If it sets up an Aphelios very well, you know, he sets up a Xayah very well. You know, any sort of late game AD carry is, ooh, a bit of a overextension here from Dindin.
Ow.
Not going to ultimately matter too much, but we'll definitely consider chugging a potion here. Rascal hits the harpoon.
Yeah.
Dodge it.
I was about to say that Dindin's doing just fine in the matchup, and then that happened. So now he has to go back at 3 minutes.
A lot of the time, what you want to do in this matchup as Renekton is try to use the brush to actually hit as many minions as possible to get your Fury up, and then, ooh, that's a root.
Yeah.
Going on it.
Paddock taking a fair bit of damage, but looks like they will be all right. Yeah, Dundun realizing that he really has to get this wave in a better position, but Rascal's just going to be able to walk towards him. Doesn't find that second harpoon as Dundun is on a merry jaunt. He is going to head towards the enemy base. Now he's in between turrets, and Croco is trying to stop him.
This lane is over, Atlas. I mean, no matter what happens here for Dundun.
He's not laning anymore, though.
No.
Dundun is currently jungling or enemy basing. He's enemy basing. He's going to take... Yeah, gets a ward down. Nice. There we go. That's an execute. He didn't use his teleport before, and that is the best news, because it means that he's not going to miss these like 3 waves that are crashing.
A bit of a nice lead here for DRX.
And now they're going to spot Sylvie going for a little bit of an engage. Winter's Wrath coming down is now Jiwoo, only level 5. So isn't going to be able to offer too many extra feathers. Is now Rascal. He's moving in. Equalizer is going to come through. Captain Jack, pretty nice there from Jiwoo. But Paddock is already over the wall. Nongshim have created a fair bit of distance, though, and with the Speed Shrine, they're going to be able to get out just fine.
Won't lose too much for coming over there. It's okay, we're going in.
Yep, Cease and Desist is going to come down. That is the flash in from Beryl to deny any follow-up from Peter. And man, Beryl just insole game in game 1 and then has that play? They're not out of the woods just yet as the flash forward comes in from Fiesta. They will be able to kill Paddock. And so maybe it's not all good news. It did look pretty cool, though, in his defense, as Fate gets some spare time with this outer turret.
With this Vi pick, but unfortunately has been a little bit...
Look at Beryl's play here. It's actually so sick.
Insane. Denies him, calling the flash. And then they want to get this kill on Desire, but then disaster. And more importantly, in life.
Yes, we have a hook landing onto Beryl, who is crashing down. Dundun, decent amount of fury right here, as they don't have Equalizer available, does DRX. They want to wait for that one to be back up again, as Beryl has level 6. He can just dive on in here if he would like to, but instead he's just going to get a bear to the face and will just die. Yes, the shades of Beryl, I guess.
Indeed.
I was gonna grab time it again, but that's a flash over, and he has Equalizer, everyone, and he's gonna flash over the wall. And get himself out of there. I thought he was just going to be straight up dead, but that's how the top laners are going to trade flashes.
Obviously, Dundun has a lot more mobility as Renekton, so it feels like a pretty good trade there in terms of what those 2 top laners can do.
Fiesta is also going to get engaged on here as Equalizer does come down. That is an Annie burning to death, and she will die. Croco going to pick that one up with the Winter's Wrath, and we get a zoom in from Jonah Strong because of the KS. I love it. Annie.
Gonna be fine, yeah, but over here, I mean, Zaya is just going to go for plates. Looks like they're just giving this up.
Yeah.
Don't know about this.
That is a Glacial Prison. It's going to land at max range as Beryl's going to be engaged on here. Cease and Desist comes down. Paddock is going to try and get something done. Beryl survives for a really long time as Sylvie not going to get killed, but there's the flash forward from Paddock. He's going to rain the Acathian down, and then he's going to die. That is going to be 2 kills now. Picked up for Nongshim as Fiesta's just running his way out.
The Timbers teleport?
None of this permafrost could actually be stacked up enough.
Okay, and then a teleport mid. This game is bonkers.
What about soft commit?
Yeah, slowly pushing in is okay. Using a little bit of that poke from the Kaisa.
There we go.
Rascal's got the angle.
Beryl is not, it's not a slow commit. It's Beryl, oh my god! He gets in there, the Equalizer is just massive. Beryl does die, but now Fate is starting to get some of these shots through. Croco looking for Fiesta.
Blasco?
Fiesta is just out of here, manages to dodge the Void Seeker, and that is Paddock that's going to be able to lock down the kill. Acathian Rain, Croco actually moves his W out of the way.
When the dust settles here, see, I was talking about that itemization for Dundun. He is, okay.
Yeah, Megacone going to come on over here as Arctic Assault is going to connect. Croco is relatively low.
TP fight?
Yeah, and that is going to be the Glacial Prison. Really nicely done. Slice, dice, there's the connect. Magnus Storm, though, is massive as Paddock dives on top of Dundun, who's going to flash out of the way. There's the flash from Paddock as well, but he's no longer in the fight. Cease and Desist now comes down as Peter lands yet another hook. Give this man his POG if Nongshim are actually going to win this one, because his disengage play has been absolutely fantastic.
Trying to siege this turret now to say, like, all right, well, you got that turret. It's turn-based now. We're going to get this turret. And without a wave, they will not.
Well, Fate is going to bust a shot Jiwoo, and he is going to survive, and now he's further away from the bad guys.
TP fight!
Yeah, Rascal is getting on in here. He doesn't have Equalizer, but he does have a dream. The dream I don't think involves dying, though, so he's going to flash away. That is going to be the kill onto Dundun, but it's a worthy sacrifice. Before the buster shot, then maybe Jiwoo dies. But yeah, we're just into a team fight here, as once again we have a dead Annie. Annie does not seem to be the winning champion for this series.
No, and I stopped describing the fight there for a minute because I was like, I bet people are dying. There are things that Nongshim could do to set him up, but yeah, that's it. It has to be him.
Well, Beryl is flashing in. He really likes doing that as Fiesta's standing on an equalizer. Tibbers goes down though. Beryl will die, but he seems to die in all the fights, even in the, or maybe especially in the ones DRX win.
I mean, they almost got all the minions there, so it's going to take a while for that turret to go down so they can trade these one for one and then actually maybe even get this inhibitor turret. They're trying to push for Juice here. Blade Call or a really nice team fight where you blow up the Tristana with all of that pressure. There's a way.
Ooh, it's a nice little fadeaway ultimate there as Peter walks down the red carpet. Jiwoo is taking a lot of damage. Featherstorm does come through here as Rascal is just dead. And yeah, the Vi's absolutely fine. And now it's Dundun on that flank angle by himself. And the rest of DRX are now going to chase him down. Nongshim don't want to be here. Dundun, you're not going to, I don't think you're going to be okay, buddy. I don't think this is exactly what we want. As can he get over the wall is the question. He still has Flash, but he's not going to use it, I don't think. And Padak is going to grab that kill. So a little bit of a...
a little bit of a DRX versus Nongshim action going on here.
Yeah. And now
Fiesta's just out here.
Okay, well there's the crash down. Does manage to stun up Croco there momentarily, and so with the fact that another team member of Nongshim is going to walk close by, DRX will back away.
Beryl!
Yeah. Well, now
okay,
Nongshim,
we're just starting this up, and Fiesta's in the Annie spot.
He is. And Controller does come down. Another ult's going to land as Fiesta is just dead. One more time. Equalizer is going to be the doorway that Nongshim have to walk out of. And Croco gets over the wall. Nongshim are on the wrong side of this one. Mega Cone is going to be available for them. And it's Dundun that uses it to try and get himself out. A hook is going to connect as Peter looking for a re-engage. Jiwoo finds a Featherstorm. It's massive. Beryl going to be the first one to go down, but we don't know whether that's good or bad. Rascal is going to secure the kill on Jiwoo. As now Jiwoo is still alive, ladies and gentlemen, but Padak is going to say that that is not a thing anymore. He picks up a swift triple kill, and DRX will move towards the Baron. I think we are all...
Nicely played. The ult was fantastic, as we're going to see a TP here from Fiesta. We've had some questionable moments. What about this one?
He's going to play, gets the kill onto the Rumble. Okay, and now Padak is trying to deal with Tibbers, and he will be able to do that. Fate's going to kill Fiesta here, and that is that. But he got the Rumble.
A little bit hurt. They're going to do a little bit more damage.
Yeah, get hurt, do hurt.
Exactly. That's great for Rumble.
It is, as there is another flash in. Jiwoo is going to Featherstorm, and Padak is going to shoot him. That is going to be the stopwatch utilized. I don't know whether he necessarily needed to do that, but it is going to waste a little bit of extra time here as DRX now moving up the mid lane. The other lanes aren't really in a great position to start this siege. But with the man advantage and with no Jiwoo, this should be a pretty comfortable take of this mid inhibitor.
I mean, it should just be near the end, right? If they can engage just one time. Beryl doesn't have ult, but I mean, they have a Tristana. There's so much damage here.
And a few more of these Ws need to land. As you can see, Beryl just looking for it. He finds another crash down, and oh my goodness, the Annie just erupts. And the Void Seeker is going to come forward. That is going to get the kill onto Sylvie. Dundun flashing in to try and find something, but he's buster shot it away. And now the Nexus has nothing protecting it. It's another triple kill for Padak. And that is going to be the ace. That will be the Nexus going down, and that'll be game 3. In
series on our hands.
It is all over our hands, and I don't even know what it is. It's like scribblings. Padak managing to get it back together. I don't know whether it was necessarily the most inspiring Kai'Sa game, but he did a lot of damage. He was landing the Void Seekers in the end.
Beryl on Milio. Do you have any specific thoughts about this? Does this make you feel happy or worried? Does this make you feel pleasant or...
Holding up this shirt does not give me ting. You know, Poppy into Renekton, not a bad matchup. You can deny slices and dices and things like that. Have to see how it goes. We hop into the Rift here. Game number 3.
That is, that's about the extent of how much he goes in.
Yeah,
Kind of otherwise presses shields on people and is a secondary support.
I think that Rascal can go in. You never really know. As Nongshim have managed to, drink some potions and stuff like that. They should be all right. As once again, Paddock getting himself the campfire, and Beryl just deciding that the young player is going to get aggressive. Speaking of getting aggressive, Root Caller going to miss here from Croco.
Here, Croco's crocoing.
He is.
Just calmly bring them to his side.
Yeah.
Tree fight on the scuttle is over here.
Yeah, bit of an engagement as the flash out from Paddock is not exactly what DRX wants if they want to continue playing on the front foot. He has to cleanse as well, and they get the heal in exchange for just a grand entrance ignite. Hitting it, maybe it was like an end move, it takes a long time. There is another engage. Paddock's just going to be obliterated. That's going to be first blood in the 2v2 going over to Jiwoo.
Peter! That Rakan play! Look at him nod as well, knowing he did it. He pulled it off. He did the flash knock-up.
He did. Looked really good while he did it as well.
How's your cleanse?
Okay, well, Croco going to come on over. You can put down a brush for Fate. That's what he's not going to do that, but he as Sylvie, the tree battle. This is what we were talking about. This is what we've been waiting for, as there is a pigeon in the tree. Fate going to come on over as well, though, as he's starting to get these shots down as Croco thrown over the wall. The trigger seat's fantastic. Look at this. He's been kept alive forever, and Fate is going to lock down the kill. Now he's looking for Quad as the next one, and I guess this is the benefit to having a million supports, and it's the fact that your tree is never going to fall down.
Here is quite interesting because the scaling aspects of, this is the problem with
Special
Tristana.
delivery to the turret, and yeah, he's really dead.
That's what I was talking about. Kind of if you go in and you don't actually get the kill, you will struggle to get out, but he is Rakan.
Well, they're going to look for it one more time. Okay. Sometimes you get Ultra Mega Fire kicked, and that is going to be Paddock now using his cleanse to try and catch up. There is the campfire as once again they're bearing down on Peter, but he grand exits. He'll be fine. But I also really like Nongshim in this series because it's the easier one to play.
Sure.
And I think having ease of execution in a game like this is important, as Rascal has heroically charged his way in. Sylvie taking a bit of damage here as Fate has a nice little campfire to work with. It's as if he's drawn even more beads than he thought he was going to, as, Wind and Fire on the table, very exciting here, as now Fate is going to have to flash away after rocket jumping in. Paddock trying to stand his own, but it's not going to work out. He just explodes. This is what we were talking about. You really do need to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, and that duck is now back in the death chamber. He quacked. He did.
He quacked Atlas, and now, they have this choke point controlled. I feel like Nongshim should be able to take this one here, especially if Quad just sets up Sand Soldiers. He still has ultimate and flash. There's Dundon in the choke as well. There's just no way DRX contest this, right?
Well, Rascal is still in the area. Croco's going to move on over to his brush, but yeah, Drake is going to be secured here by Nongshim.
Kind of
very,
bizarre.
very nicely.
Now your Xayah, as Nongshim is pretty far ahead.
Yeah, he's a monster. Speaking of monsters, the Crocodile looking for Fate as the Nature's Grasp is going to come through. They are underneath the turret here as Daisy pops up and Croco in position. Peter is going to get snared up, so can't actually get underneath the turret, but now he goes for the re-engage. The Emperor's Divide to push the Tristana back into the gaping maw of Dundon. And it's the Azir actually that's able to lock down the kill. Now Croco finds himself running the opposite direction as the lingering campfire. But that is about it. And now this tree is going to be felled. And felled by the other tree, as it turns out. As Rascal is here in this bottom lane, looking for an inner turret.
Yeah, I guess all down the river all game long, even before their lead. And stuff like this, you can do.
Well, there's the Flash Emperor's Divide, or just the surf-in Emperor's Divide. Croco going to explode. The arrow will connect, but it's kind of after the fact, and now Beryl going to have to get out of there. He ults himself as the Nature's Grasp is going to fly forward, and now Rascal, he's the front line. He is the guy that can actually stand his ground. But Nongshim, yeah, like you say, Jiwoo is going to tank it for a little bit longer than he would have otherwise liked. And Dundon, he's slicing on in. 5 members of Nongshim now in this Baron pit as Fate moving on over. There is no smite that's available. And Nongshim, they're looking for the turn. Sylvie in the pit is going to secure the Baron. And now, Paddock is free hitting. Sylvie is just massive though. Look at his health bar. Heroic Charge comes in. Hits exactly that as Rascal almost sacrifices himself. And DRX, what are we even fighting for here? Because the Baron is already
It's
taken.
already lost. It's already lost. It's already taken. And DRX just falling apart, I think, in a big way here.
Yeah, looking for their second Drake of the game.
Rascal super low.
He is indeed, but he's Poppy, you know. Sylvie's going to get kicked back. Jiwoo just going to deter them, and Sylvie's going to get that smite. So DRX waste their time and leash the Drake for Nongshim to come over and pick up.
Poor Croco, man. He dies before Baron.
Away from DRX and then just fight when they feel like it's a better opportunity.
Yeah. Just watch them kite back here.
Ooh, Static Shift starting to do some work here from Fate, who is the big member of the team. It's going to get blocked out. Peter, absolutely fantastic work, but Beryl is there with the mitigation on the CC, and now Padak, he has to flash as well. Nongshim, if they sink their fangs in, they can do a lot of burst damage, especially with this Azir build, but with this Void Star, just does not care. And of course, Rascal doesn't have very much magic resist whatsoever.
Okay, this is a bit risky here from Nongshim. They might have to commit the Maokai ult.
Okay, that's a rocket jump in from Fate as the Feather Storm does come through. The arrow sails by as well as the Nature's Grasp is going to be in there. Still, Sylvie now going to have to walk his way out. They haven't managed to get this inhibitor just yet. Showing some slide over extensions here on the Nongshim side as Daisy gets a little aggressive, and Dundun is going to find that opportunity. That means that they do get over, grab themselves this inhibitor. Inhibitor turret as well, and this is what we were talking about. The last remaining inhib.
Double
supers.
supers.
Going down, exactly right. And DRX, I just don't know. Like, yeah, you could put a lot of brushes underneath your Nexus turrets. Maybe this is going to be their bastion of hope, but it's really starting to look like Nongshim are just going to dot some I's, cross some T's, and walk away with a victory here.
I mean, it's all Baron buff.
Yeah, and it means that this season, this year, it is going to be even, completely even between DRX and Nongshim. 2-1s both times, one apiece in both spring and summer.
Yeah, the brushes are making it take a little bit longer here, but it does feel inevitable that DRX will fall with all of these cannon minions empowered by Baron. The last turret will go down, and then Jiwoo can start hitting the Nexus itself. I mean, so many bushes here, but you can't engage.
Well, there's the flash forward as Fate is going to be able to get that rocket jump out. They dive on forward, and yeah, there's just so much damage. Jiwoo is now free, hitting Rascal. He goes golden, but he is going to have to witness the rest of his team just explode. Beryl is going on an adventure. Milio's out of there, and the Nexus is also going to go down. Nongshim.
So volatile, you just never know.
Yeah.
Quad, I hope he gets to have an interview tonight. I think he played a great series, or a great game of League of Legends to close it out. I think he was super decisive, and
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POG Interview translation. We are here joined by Jiwoo and Quad on the side of Nongshim Red Force.
지우 선수, 쿼드 선수 승리 축하드립니다.
감사합니다. Jiwoo, Quad, congratulations.
네, 먼저 지우 선수 승리 소감 부탁드릴게요.
Jiwoo, how do you feel?
저번에 져가지고 이번에는 꼭 이기고
Since
싶었는데
we lost against them last time, I really wanted to win today, and I'm really glad that we got our victory over them.
오랜만에 출전해서 승리를 거두셨는데요. 첫
And
POG와
Quad,
함께 승리를 거둔 소감
long time no see.
부탁드리겠습니다.
How do you feel?
오랜만에 출전하는 것도 되게 어려웠고 기회를 얻는 것도 어려웠고 또
It was
경기도
difficult to
오랜만에
get a
좀
chance to
떨기도 하고 좀
get
어려웠는데
back on the
되게
stage
이겨서
after a long
너무
time.
기분 많이 좋은 것 같습니다.
But I'm
네, 또 POG
very, very
가셔서
happy that I'm
기분 더
back
좋으실
here
것
and
같습니다.
was able to get
커드와
grab a
같이
victory.
가자라는 또 치어풀도 있네요. 지우 선수 오늘
There's a
파덕 선수와 함께
cheerboard that says,
두 번째
"Quad, let's go."
대전이 일어났습니다.
And
지난
Jiwoo, you
2라운드에서는
had your
앞서
second Pokemon
말씀하신
battle
대로
with
2대
Padak.
1로 아쉽게 패배를 했는데 오늘
And in the
복수에
last round
성공을
1 match,
하셨습니다.
you lost
파덕
1
선수를
to
어떻게
2,
분석해서
but you
오늘
got your
경기를
revenge
임하셨을까요?
today. So how did you analyze Padak as a player for today's match? I realized how good of a player Padak is, and he's actually quite similar as a player as I am. But I feel like I came today with the mindset that I will play better, I'll be the better player today. And Jiwoo, you picked Xayah in all 3 games, and you quickly drafted her in the first 2 games. So it seems like you favor her. Do you just
카 있어서
rate
그냥
Zaya
자야도
higher
이제
than over
생존기가
Kaisa?
있어가지고 조금 더 안정적으로 할 수 있게
Like Zaya
좀 도와줄 수
is
있어가지고
safer
그런 면에서 좀 좋은 것
because
같습니다.
she
네.
has
데뷔
a bit of
이후에
an
자야로
escape,
승리한 것도 처음이고 또 최고의 퍼포먼스도
so I think
보여준
that's why I
날이기
prefer her.
때문에 앞으로도 지우 선수의
This
자야를
was your
더
first victory with
응원해보도록
Zaya,
하겠습니다.
and you
자,
really
쿼드
showed your
선수,
best
2세트
performance. So
이후에
we
쿼드
look
선수가
forward to your
교체
future Zaya games.
투입됐습니다.
And
미드 교체와
Quad,
함께 감독 코치님들이 주문하신
after
내용이 뭐가
game 2, you were
있었을까요?
subbed in. So what did the coaching staff order you to do? After game 2, I showed them my intention to start playing afterwards. I showed them my confidence, and I feel like right now, given that we have such a low chance for the playoffs, they just told me to not feel too much pressure when I play on the stage.
출전을 안 하는 기간 동안에 팀원들의 경기를 지켜보셨을 텐데
And so while you were subbed out
채우고자 하셨을까요?
and watching your teammates play, what did you try to supplement?
내적으로나 외적으로나 좀 라인전이 약하다는 그런
feel
이미지나
like
좀 프레임이
Internally and
있다고 생각하는데
externally, I feel like
저도 이제 예전에는
uh,
좀 거기에 좀
a lot of people
휩쓸려서
believe
이런
that my
게
laning
약하다고
phase is weak.
생각했는데 좀 그 기간 동안 저는 그 부분에서 제가 휩쓸리지
So
않고
during the phase
앞으로 저는
I was
라인전은
subbed
다
out,
이길
I
수 있다는
tried
자신감
to
가지고 계속 연습했던 것 같습니다.
practice my laning phase, and I feel like I'm now very confident in terms of laning phase. I don't have any intention of losing in the laning phase. And in game 3's draft, why did you guys let the opponent take Poppy, Tristana, and Ivan?
좀 라스칼 선수가 쓸 때 레넥톤 많이 잘 써가지고 좀
Rascal happens to be a really good Renekton player.
저희가 좀 플레이할 수 있는 방향성을 잘 찾아서 픽한 것 같아요.
So I think we just went for picks that let the opponent take whatever they want while picking the ones that the picks that we want.
이제 애쉬 밀리오가
So,
라인전이 좀 많이 써가지고
Jiwoo, what was your intention to? How did you manage to deal with the Ash Milio in game 3?
6렙 때 궁극기가 생기면
I feel like as long as we get our ult in level 6, that we would win. So we waited until then. And Quad,
카시오페아를 하더라고요.
immediately after you were subbed in, the opponent banned Cassio first, and so we caught you laughing at that. And this summer, you were the only one who played Cassio, but until Bulldog played her in the previous match. So, as a Cassio expert, what's your read on Cassio in this meta? I tend to practice Cassio every once in a while, and I've always thought that she's a good pick against Tristana. So I mentioned that, you know, I asked if our other mid believes that Cassio is a good pick against Tristana, and I feel like I just strongly believe that she's a stronger pick over Tristana.
계속 밴 나올 것 같아서
So does that mean that we can look forward to your Cassio plays in the future? I feel like Cassio just keeps getting banned whenever I'm on the stage. But because Cassio usually gets banned when I'm playing, I'm pretty used to it. And your next opponent will be Kwangdong Freaks. It'll be a very important match for your playoffs chances. So what are your resolutions? I'll make sure that we prepare really hard so that we make it to the playoffs. And Quad, before I got subbed in, the reason I got subbed out in the first place was because I didn't do so well against Kwangdong Freaks, but I'll make sure that we prepare ourselves well and that I show good performance. And I'm sure you got your victory today thanks to your fans, so any words for your fans?
좀 지긴 했지만 이렇게
Although we have had defeats, just really happy that you guys are here watching over us, and it's all really thanks to you guys that we got our victory today. And Quad? Even before I went pro, there are a lot of people that kept supporting me to this day. So I just want to express my gratitude to everyone, and thank you.
나가서 플레이오프 진출까지 멋지게 도전하시길 바라겠습니다.
We
인터뷰
hope to
감사합니다.
see
수고
Nongshin Red
축하드립니다.
Forest in the playoffs. This will be the end of the interview with Gio in quad and back to the space.